coming to you live from Seattle, Washington. It's 4:59 a.m. here, so just wish I could be there in person. But I was listening in the last part. I'm a big proponent of using Teams whenever we can save some money. So I'm sure there's plenty of people there to entertain everyone. So I'm going to take you through a presentation on Cutter and Buck and talk to you about the brand that is Cutter and Buck, as well as the company that is Cutter and Buck, because it's an important distinction. Torsten talked about some investments that we're making here in the USA, and that's a lot about the company that is Cutter and Buck. I'm going to give you an update on tariffs as best I can. I haven't read all the newspapers this morning, so it might have changed, but I'll give you an update from our standpoint on tariffs and what Cutter and Buck is doing about tariffs and how we've really, I think, well managed up to this date what's going on with tariffs. Then we'll talk about the future, the new Texas distribution center, and adding brands that kind of comes with that expanded distribution. So I'm going to continue on. I think I have a good audio feed, and Anna has not messaged me back to tell me otherwise. So Cutter and Buck, the brand, we were founded right here in the Pacific Northwest. You can see our original office right behind this young woman on the shores of Elliott Bay in Seattle. We are proudly a Pacific Northwest brand, been so since 1989. And we'd like to say all of these little taglines that are on the screen here. We are rooted in Seattle, but we are ready for more. So we really strive to find that versatility, that lifestyle, everything that goes into a all-day active lifestyle in the Pacific Northwest, where we really seek to find epic every day. We have established a history of quality, really uncompromising quality since our founding, huge founding pillar of Cutter and Buck, and we've been working at improving and keeping the utmost quality all throughout our lives. And so we talk about standards are for raising. That's what we work on at Cutter and Buck. We, as a company and as a brand, we're always looking to improve. So we really focus on continuous improvement, continuous learning. We believe in our people being empowered. Torsten talked a moment ago about how good work we can do. That's something that we focus on every day in the Cutter and Buck brand worldwide. And so the optimism that we have from that is our finding new ways forward. And then finally, since our beginning, we've been committed to sustainability, really with quality being job one in sustainability. As you've seen, the longer products last, the less carbon impact, the less of environmental impact they have, the higher volumes we can drive with our sourcing partners or otherwise. We have a better social impact. And so that's how we look at our sustainability. And I'll talk more about that in the company in a few minutes. So what do we make at Cutter and Buck? We really make iconic styles that are engineered for exceptional versatility, designed to be your favorite. So lots of product categories that people wear every single day in their work and their lifestyle. Really a huge opportunity for casual market here. In the short, we like to say in short, iconic, versatile favorites. That's what we're looking for. That's where the market is really big for us here in the US and also around the world. What does the brand get up to in the market? So we really have established a global brand presence. Certainly, I'm here representing the USA. We have an expanded business in Canada through our new Wave Group sister company in Toronto. We also have the brand totally active in our businesses in Europe. So nearly all of the New Wave Group subsidiaries in Europe stock and carry the Cutter and Buck brand. Many of those are focused on corporate, as you know, but also there's business and retail there as well. And then we have several licensed markets around the world that have been with us for many, many years in the Middle East and Africa, Australia, New Zealand. Those have been great markets for us for over 25 years each. In East Asia, in Korea, and China, and in Southeast Asia, we have licensed businesses there as well. So there's really a global brand presence for Cutter and Buck. And the good news is in nearly all of these markets, while Cutter and Buck has great distribution, all these things, it's still a small brand. And so while we have a growth in all of these places at present. There's so much business out there for us to go and get. Zeroing in a bit on the U.S. with the brand, we have awesome commercial partnerships that have really served us well. These partnerships are very hard earned. These are partnerships where we sell through these partnerships. These are not sponsorships. These are commercial partnerships where we have earned the right to sell, either with co-branding or through these platforms or through these other brands out into the market, including the National Football League, which is American football, gridiron, if you know it as that, but it's the largest league, the most popular league here in the U.S. Major League Baseball, a really old league, but really well established. We just had the highest ratings of all time on Game 7 of the World Series last week, and so that's a positive about the baseball. NCAA is the National Collegiate Association of Athletics, and that's all of the colleges and universities around. This is a huge sports entree in the U.S. market, as well as it's just a really popular base for fans and for alumni and all of those things. And then we have lots and lots of famous customers for the brands. The largest is Fanatics.com, but that operates under NFLshop.com, MLBshop.com, MLSshop.com, which is the Major League Soccer here. So that's the company that operates all of the websites across the consumer base in the sports license space. And we have a fabulous business and partnership with them. And then, of course, Amazon, Nordstrom, who you're probably familiar with, and then famous locations like Pebble Beach or Torrey Pines or Pinehurst. These are three of the most famous and biggest golf course operations, resort destinations in the country, and we run a really nice business and partnership with all of them. So that's about the brand. We're a great solid brand on really strong footing. And what's so special about Cutter & Buck as part of New Wave Group is really what we have been able to become since the New Wave Group acquisition in 2007. So the company, what is our mission as a company, or our objective? Our objective. Our objective now is to be the world's best sportswear supplier. And we believe that we can do that with great product selection for corporate and retail. I heard the question a little while ago about the corporate business in the U.S. Cutter & Buck has a really, really strong corporate foothold in the U.S. Strong, but very small compared to the overall size of the market in corporate and what would be extension by imprinting and teamwear as well. And with that, with an entree into that business for corporate and retail, which we go to market in the same way. Currently, we have the CMD brand, of course, the iconic versatile favorites. And then also we take to market Click, which is our line of modern sporty essentials. Certainly a big label in the European market. We've been doing that since 2008. We launched that, and I've been part of that since the beginning in this market here. And both of those businesses are growing at present right now. So we do that with a really high service level. We are committed, like we all are across the New Wave Group, 98% inventory service level. There was a question too about stock. We have to carry a huge stock in order to keep that, but that's our promise to our customers, and it keeps our business going and growing. We have a secret sauce. There was also questions about embroidery, but our secret sauce, and I could ask everyone here to be like, don't tell these secrets to other companies, because these are the things that make us the world's best sportswear supplier. Fast embroidery and fulfillment. We have really perfected embroidery down to one unit at scale. And so we are able to offer the partners that I showed on the last screen, corporate programs, corporate uniform programs or otherwise. We're able to offer them really, really compelling packages as part of our USP on embroidery and that fulfillment. So some of you may have seen a video that circulated last year, but during this time of year, over the weekend, we will get 5,000 or 6,000 single unit orders. We will receive those by Monday morning. We will ship all of them by Tuesday afternoon. So we have a 25-hour turn time on 5,000 or 6,000 individual orders that have come in over the weekend from our consumer businesses. So that's something that we really can build more and more business on, particularly as it relates to expanding distribution and fulfillment capacity out of Dallas as well. And we have really trusted B2B technology platforms like cbcorporate.com, which is in the US for us about a $50 million a year business, where that business comes in through our B2B platform. So the costs are low on that B2B platform. We have low operating or low order processing costs when orders come in like that. It enables us to go to market really, really fast. We also have a high profit level. This is in keeping with New Wave Group. New Wave Group, the sourcing partnership is key to that, to getting really, really great sourcing and great products at great margins. And then also internally, we're seeking those lowest possible costs, as evidenced by me not flying to Sweden to do this presentation today. So, and then finally, sustainability through efficiency. This is how we have our point of view on sustainability. We use fabrics with certified sustainable attributes. We have consistent orders with our factories that enables a lot of very solid social compliance. Our factories don't really need to work on overtime based on us and those types of things. So factories love consistent, long-lasting orders. We haven't used any air freight in our business model at all in any of our imports since 2018, since the New Wave Group pointed this out, that we should really have a goal of that, and we've been committed to that. And then we also don't use any print catalog, so we've been committed to that for sustainability since 2020. Prior to the pandemic, we had made that decision. So how do we do all that? There's a lot of things that I listed there. There's a lot of different things. I just want to just zero in for a moment on what our strategic flywheel is. And so you see here in the center, our objective: be the world's best sportswear supplier. And then here internally, we communicate to corporate and retail. We're very focused on that. We want to do both markets. There's huge channel opportunities in both. And so this is our virtuous cycle. This is a Jim Collins, those of you that read Good to Great back in the day, those of you that are keeping up with this methodology, we really love this methodology. And it helps keep us very, very focused at Cutter & Buck. And it starts there at the top with market-winning product series. And I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on market-winning product series, but those equate to high-margin, long life cycle products. And that is a economic engine for Cutter & Buck, as well as for lots of companies in the New Wave Group. And then we power that with huge inventory, as I'm sure Torsten has discussed with you as well. We have that huge inventory to operate that 98% inventory service level. We have a rock solid infrastructure so that we do not have outages. We are able to really be connected with all of our customers all of the time. We can take orders. We can answer questions about where anybody's order is anywhere, all the time. So we have a really, really solid infrastructure, both for fulfillment and for the technologies that are necessary for that these days. And then we power that with industry-leading service and capacity. I talked a bit about embroidery a few moments ago. We believe that we are leading in the US for embroidery capacity and speed at this time in the markets that we serve. So there's lots of cottage industry out there in regards to decoration, which we also supply with lots of blank products out there, and that's a huge growing business for us. But those are generally to smaller local decorators that are servicing the promotional or imprinter market. So there's a huge market of blank business, and there's also this awesome market that we keep growing in our decorated business. And then finally, I like to start or finish there depending on, but always adding and activating customers. We are very, very engaged with our customer base. We still have a very small slice of the market in the US, and I'll show you some statistics in just a moment there. But this is our flywheel. The more we concentrate our strategies, each year we set our objectives and our key results around these strategic objectives, and we just keep the business moving forward and keep improving over time. So from there, a little bit of detail of market-winning product series, like what is that? So this is just, it's actually a very, very simple concept that we've developed within the New Wave Group. We've just given it a name, which we like to do at Cutter & Buck. But the opportunity is to win a large identified market across channels: quality, design, stock level, sustainability, and price, which is not always necessary if we win on those other areas. But we really seek to have this. And the key thing is one base fabric in many styles and colors. So that's where you get the economies of scale across the supply chain is in the base fabric. We can buy at New Wave Group volumes, at the volumes that we can do, selling across all channels. We can buy fabulous fabrics at a very reasonable price. So this helps build margin. So the example here on your left here is the Adapt Recycled Knit Layering Series. This is now #1 for us in the US. The forecast for the rest of the year, we're going to hit $16 million US in the US on this product series with a sustained GM above 60%. And we're expecting lifetime sales in this series of $100 million US. So that's just in the US market. This is also available in Europe. It's available in Canada. It's available in many of those markets around the world. So this is a key component to our strategy, and we also apply this with our Click brand that we offer here in the U.S., as well as some other products that some other product collections that we'll bring in soon. So a little bit about the service, a little bit more about service capacity. We have an auto store system, a fabulous technology that's really great. You've probably heard a lot about it, about the group, or from the group, but we really love this system. It enables us to do that 25-hour turn time in our decoration business. It powers fulfillment capacity that for retailers, any of those corporate customers, we're able to keep up with that and really be servicing things. Same day blank orders, all of that stuff. And then with 350 embroidery heads at our Seattle fulfillment center, we can do up to 15,000 units a day. Our daily average right now is about 13,000, but with those minimum orders of 1 unit. So that's perfect for retailers who want to do drop ship programs, for all of these different sports businesses that want to do embroidery decoration. And then we're learning about how we can expand decoration beyond embroidery for the future while keeping with this great capacity. So a little business snapshot for us. Torsten, you were a little bit off. No matter what we do, our businesses tend to kind of grow together. But starting here on the left, our brand sales, we're about 70.8%. This is year-to-date percentages right now for us. 70% Cutter and Buck in dollars and 30% in Click. It's kind of easy. These are very easy to to digest here. Brand sales in units, 52% Cutter and Buck, a little bit higher in Click, right? Because the Click price points tend to be lower than the Cutter and Buck price point. And then in our channels, we got 51% of our business in corporate, 46% in our wholesale retail, and then 3% in our direct to consumer. So that's the cutterbuck.com business. So these kind of, as the brand grows and as the business grows, it just continuously grows at these two levels and tends to kind of stay in lockstep with each other. Certainly, I think when we expand our distribution into some more markets or to some more locations, we'll probably start to distort a little bit with corporate, with a higher percentage of our business in corporate. But we're happy to have this. We don't manipulate this. We're happy to have it grow in both business channels. So, and then customers, you can see here, 54% of our customers year to date are in corporate, 46% are in retail. So that's about so far year to date, it's about 13,000 customers across both. There are tens of thousands more customers for us to gain in the U.S. market alone. So we have strategies in place with that. It's kind of a slow and steady market, but it's really about keeping customers that we actually have open active all the time. So moving on to tariffs. Anna and others had asked me to speak about tariffs. In my original presentation, I had a nice little flow down to talk about each of these things. So sorry to barrage you with a slide that's a lot of text on it. But here you have it. So the key things here is that Cutter and Buck in the U.S. market, we have a very strong partnership with New Wave Group Sourcing. We have committed really entirely to the New Wave Group sourcing model, which we get a ton of advantages of. The first one is that we have that visibility and fast management. So by working with New Wave Group Sourcing, we can be in contact on Teams every night. We can be in contact on email. We really have a view into where our fast and agile management of our business. So we've been, since 2017, we have been actively moving or shifting whichever you'd like to put it, to no duty countries for our GM improvement. So that has limited our exposure to the highest tariffs. So just below that, Egypt is our number one sourcing country right now in the U.S. market for us. Kenya is number two. Vietnam and Ethiopia are really 3 and number 4. So 90% of our active production is in those 4 places, and we have zero for Cutter and Buck in the U.S. We have zero production in China, and that's been as much about moving ahead of time as it is now. So further to that, with our market-winning product series strategy, we have these really high volume blocks of production. And this is why, this is again a little secret sauce. Please don't share this with other apparel companies that you all work with. But these high volume blocks of production, they can be moved into new or parallel capacity more easily than lots and lots of small products, which, whether the product does, as the example given, whether the product does, $15 million a year, or whether it does $150,000 one time, there's all the same kind of paperwork for both. So factories are much happier for us to come in and say, hey, we've got a $15 million product series. Would you like to build this for us? We're able to move those blocks of production more easily. And so the New Wave Group sourcing team and the Cutter and Buck product development and the team there for buying, they're able to move these things around quite well. So as the tariffs came in, we had some of these changes we want to make. One of the things that we did was that we increased our purchase quantities on our market-winning product series to lock in pricing, many of those times negotiated lower, as well as the capacity. So we're continuously negotiating lower pricing. So we came into 2025 recently having negotiated lower pricing with most of our factories, built on the volume and efficiency that factory can gain, not squeezing them, offering them larger production for longer periods of time. They can build that into their model, and they can give us lower pricing, again, based on that efficiency. So we use the crisis time. So from April, Torsten and I were in Shanghai at the moment that this all started to happen in April. We use those next couple of months to just move some remaining market-winning product series to no-duty countries like Egypt, for example, for us, and Kenya at the time, no duty, or the lower tariff locations. So there was a few things, a few of those product series that we had to make some adjustments to. So that we were able to do. So there has been a cost to us. So the difference between duties and tariffs in the U.S. are duties are standard. They're standard. Whether you're making a product in Vietnam or you're making a product in India, you're going to pay the same duty based on what that product category is, unless you're in a duty-free country, and then it goes from whatever that duty might be down to zero. Tariffs are an additional tax, right? So those are collected separately and collected differently. So while we've watched this closely, there has been an increase in the tariff cost. So globally, even in those no duty countries, there's a 10% tariff coming in on imported goods in the categories that we make. So because of the reasons above that I showed you, we've been able to offset many of those. We've been moving the products into the other places. So that's what we've been working on. So there has been an increase. The tariff costs that we've experienced this year, which are sometimes a little bit of a flash in the pan. Sometimes they were only at the high level for a few weeks. And that was depending on when the products shipped from that export country. There will be some tariff costs flowing through our COGS in the midterm. So we have taken some costs from that. They're completely unavoidable. It's not possible. What we've done, as done all of the things that I've explained above, and we'll continue to the resilient market-winning product series strategy to keep that base GM going and growing with no duty and low tariff sourcing. And there are some other markets. So we've been in the Africa market, North Africa, and then into Kenya since, again, 2017. We don't have any sourcing in Central or South America today. Those are no duty and low tariff locations. that's another huge potential for us for the future. We haven't even started sourcing in those areas. So there's huge opportunity and potential for us to keep this strategy going and growing from here. So, and then the future, the couple of things that are really happening for us looking out is the big investment that we're doing is the U.S. distribution expansion. So again, I had some animation here before to kind of keep you from digesting all of this all at once. But really what you're seeing here is the shipping map, the service map for what will be our 3 distribution centers. So on the left is our current 2 distribution centers. You can see Seattle, or way up in the upper left. We like to say we're in the upper left of the United States, way up there in the upper left. That's where we are based. That's where we ship from. But you can see that through many of the population bases along the eastern seaboard, down into Florida, over to Texas, up into Illinois, there is a long service time. And in the corporate world, and growing now in e-commerce, as you're quite aware, service speed matters. So in 2009, we went ahead and opened a third-party distribution center with our partnership with UPS for blank product only in Cincinnati. So you can see in the lower left-hand of your screen, you see that brighter yellow area. That's got about 2.5 million units of capacity. That's all blank units. We ship same day from that facility to all of our distributor customers, imprinter customers in the eastern U.S. So that had the effect of cutting that turn time. You can see down from Florida, down to Florida or up to New York. We had cut that down from 5 or 6 days down to 2 or 3 days when we opened that Cincinnati. So, but that leaves a large part of the United States in the center really underserviced. And Texas is a really fast-growing state. It's super business-friendly. It's just a lot of business activity in Texas. There's a lot of corporate imprinters. There's lots of business to be had there. And in fact, Texas is the number one country. I was going to say country. The number one state in the U.S. for sales for Cutter & Buck today. So while we've looked at some other areas with maybe denser population, we decided that to really service the existing customers that we have really well and really expand the business rapidly, that Texas was the place for us. So that gives us a really improved shipping time to really that center where you see the bright yellow and the light brown or the orange just around that. It really improves that to there. So we gain those days in the year. An important time of the year is right about now between the U.S. Thanksgiving and Christmas. We can get 2 or 4 more days of production capacity in that time, and it matters when we're running a really, really fast-growing business. And then, as Torsten mentioned, we're going to start up in-house decoration when we open this facility, planned for October 2026 at the same time. So that it'll take some time to get that going. Embroidery and other decoration things. It's a bit like running a factory. It takes a little bit of time to get that going. So we'll have the inventory there. We'll start shipping blanks immediately. We'll start the decoration operation. But it'll take us some time to get to where we are with the awesome capacity in Seattle. So here's just a couple of renderings of the facility that we're looking at right now. We should be finalized on the site selection any moment now, but we're right there where we felt comfortable with sharing this. The facility we're looking at will actually be our largest. It will be over 200,000 square feet. That's 20,000 square meters or in the neighborhood of that. We'll establish a showroom there to service and really broadcast ourselves to the local market. And then a really cool thing about that space, not only is it located within very quick shipping to lots of places, but it also has, you can see the freeway is right there. So we're going to have a lot of, quote, free exposure to everybody driving by. It's over 100,000 cars a day that go by here. So that's something that we really have a great access to. And then we'll stock there our huge inventory of our Cutter & Buck premium sportswear. We have our Click corporate apparel. And then very excitingly, Tenson, the Swedish outdoor brand. We've come to the agreement that we will be introducing Tenson to the corporate and to the retail market into the U.S. next year. And so we're really thrilled to have that we will have that in all 3 of our distribution centers next year, but we're really excited about that brand. It's the first time, at least in my knowledge, that the Tenson brand has been offered to the U.S. and there is strong demand, particularly in corporate, for premium outdoor. There really isn't people going after it with premium outdoor in the corporate market. So we're really thrilled for that. And then through the generosity of the group here, we're going to be offering a Craft corporate performance wear as well as team wear in stock. So we will be supporting Craft US, which has huge opportunity in lots of markets. And so we will stock both for our own sales through our channels as well as for Craft US's sales, that corporate and that team wear collection. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. I'm going to close my screen and make every attempt to see you all again, assuming that you both saw that presentation and heard me throughout, because I had no audio or visual feedback during the presentation. So I'll leave it open for any questions that you may have for me.
Thank you, Joel. We've been hearing you really well and seeing. So.
Oh, good. Okay.
You've done really well. So, is there any questions to Joel in the audience? It's a big crowd here, Joel, since you don't see them. Just describing.
I can only see three people in my field of view.
Okay,
oh, there we go.
Here's a question.
Hi, Joel. Emmanuel from Danske Bank here. Good presentation. I'm just curious, for how long have you been CEO of Cutter & Buck here in the US? And also, is it possible to maybe give us some colorings on how the sales development has been? Possibly the last 5 years or so, the development?
Yeah, I'll start with the first one, which I'm embarrassed that I did not introduce myself more sincerely at the beginning. I have been with New Wave. I've been with Cutter & Buck since 1999, and I did many different jobs. I started as an intern in the sales department, and then did many different jobs until I was, at some point, I ran the corporate business for us here at Cutter & Buck for 5 years. And then in 2014, I became the CEO. So I've been in my seat now 11 years. 11 years and change. And then on the sales development side, yeah, we've been growing well. Especially we had a dip like many companies did during the pandemic, but we've really been growing steadily since that time. So that's been good. And both, I would say, what has been quite successful since the pandemic has been the Cutter & Buck brand in the U.S. market. Which has been strong and steady for both corporate and retail, as I described before, but also globally, the Cutter & Buck brand is growing, and that's evidenced by strong growth in Europe, as well as we're starting to get more licensing revenue from those license partnerships as well. So, but I would say we've been resilient this year. This year, the market has not been forgiving, particularly early in the year, really second quarter, and those times when the tariff disruption was really strong. But with our model that I've explained here, it's resilient. We've got year-to-date growth in the business, and we've got year-to-date profit growth. So that's felt very good for us.
Interesting, thank you. And since you've been a long time with the company, Torsten acquired this business in 2007. How much bigger is the business today in the US compared to then? You know that?
It's bigger. Maybe it's, yeah. I don't know. I don't know from 2007. But it's bigger than it's bigger than it was then. So we have the strategy that we explained here. We did, take some years off from growth during that time as we adjusted to the market-winning product series strategy, to the strategy to sell to both channels with the same product line. So we've been steadily growing, really growing strong since 2021 is when our growth has been quite good.
Great. Thank you very much, Joel.
Any more questions? You've been super clear, Joel.
Okay. Great.
So,
thanks, everyone.
Time for breakfast for you. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good luck.